Okay, so I guess I'm more of a half-ass reseller, honestly. I'm gonna just go ahead and claim that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I actually want to show you guys what sold this past weekend, and I want to talk about some of the items that I sourced and what has sold fairly quickly, what platform, how much I made, how much I sold it for, and all that fun stuff. So if you think that might be interesting, please stay tuned. All right, so the first thing to sell was on Mercari, and it's just this Columbia sweatshirt. I thought this was going to take a little while to sell just because it is a little bit of a thicker knit, if you will, and it's more of a, you know, winter base layer. But I received an offer the day after I had it listed, and I went on and accepted it because I had just sourced it the day before and listed it, so it was just kind of like, why not? But this was not something that I would typically pick up. I literally only picked it up because of the style and the fact that it was a base layer. I generally skip on Columbia because it just doesn't sell well. This one actually didn't sell the best either, but given the fact that it sold fairly quickly, I guess I will shut up about it. But this actually sold for $18. I had it listed for $22 and I received that $18 offer. I debated a little bit, but I decided to go ahead and get rid of it just because it was, you know, fairly quickly. So I thought I'd take the offer, and I did. So I actually got this at the Salvation Army, and I bought it for $4 at that trip. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, so generally with my items that I source, I like to go ahead and get all the items that I have sourced at that location, and then I just divide it by how much I paid for it, and I just get that number. So that $4 could be a little bit less than what I originally paid for the item by itself, but I just like to do it that way just because it's a lot easier to keep track of what sold for me. Let me know how you do yours. Do you just have everything individually numbered, or do you kind of tally everything up like me? And I'm using this poly mailer because y'all know Mercari doesn't accept priority mail unless you use priority mail. So the next one is actually a athleta dress. Now, I've had this dress for about a good 5 to 6 months. I've been getting so many low balls on it, and I finally gave up this morning and accepted the offer, only because it's been sitting a while and summer is slightly almost over, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and get rid of it. I did briefly talk about someone sending me a lowball offer on eBay, and I was just like, girl, no, because she said that it was a tear in the dress and she was gonna have to pay $10 to get it fixed. And I'm like, ma'am, there's no tear in this dress. Like, I wouldn't have it listed if it was a tear in the dress. So she never came back, which was great. But I originally wanted to get at least about $25 for this because this is sourced at a regular thrift store, and I really just wanted to get a decent profit back like I always do with every item that I purchase. But I did. So this sold on Mercari this morning through an offer. I had it listed at $22. She sent me a $18 offer. I originally paid $5.73 for this item, and I made a total of $9.65 after fees and cost of goods. I, of course, am not happy with that. I would have been happy if I got a profit of about 15 bucks, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I actually got these poly mailers off of Amazon. I typically like to use them for like a little bit larger items, and it's just plain white ones. I know that as resellers, we love to get those beautiful, pretty packaging ones, but they're all gonna do the exact same thing. So I got plain ones. All right, so moving on to Poshmark sales. I actually sold this pair of American Eagle denim jeans. I don't typically pick this brand up at thrift stores unless it's super special and I'm buying it for myself, and that hasn't happened for a while. But these are a size 14 long, and I thought that somebody would really enjoy these. So I went on and got them just because, you know, when you're at the bins and you are sourcing, you can't really miss out on much, honestly, because the prices are so incredibly low. But I have these listed, I want to say at $28. That's typically what I price all of my American Eagle jeans at, is about 32 or 28 depending on if the style is like more popular. And I'm looking to get maybe about $20 to $25. So this one actually sold for $24. She sent me an offer with just $4 off, I want to say, and I was like, of course, like that's super reasonable, so of course I'm gonna accept that. So with her sending that $24 offer, I only paid $2.10 for this item, and I made a total of $15.38 after fees and cost of goods. So that was pretty much a win for me. I like to make sure that I make about 20 bucks, but since this is a Ben's item, the cost of goods is fairly low, so it's not much of a loss for me there. So I will definitely do it again, and I'll continue to pick up American Eagle. Let me know down below, do you still pick up American Eagle items? Because I know a lot of people have given up on it, but I don't know. I think when they are a good style and nothing is wrong with them and they're fairly cheap, I would go ahead and get them, because you can get a quick sale. This sold within like maybe a week of me listing it, and I just, you know, I love to see it. I also like to use these little stickers that say priority for all of my, you know, priority packages. But I typically like to use it the most with this style of tie back, because for some reason it still kind of doesn't stick all the way down. All right, so the next thing is actually a pair of Pilcro in the letterpress shorts. I high-key regret actually picking these up, only because, you know, summer is pretty much over and I've already recognized that denim shorts just do not do well for me. So yeah, but I only picked it up because it was Pilcro in the letterpress, and I just thought that, you know, maybe I could get at least about 30 bucks for them, but of course that didn't happen. So yeah, these actually sold for $21, and I paid a total of $4 for them, and I only made $11.08. So that kind of sucks. The buyer also thought that they paid like full price, because they messaged me as soon as they purchased it, and they was like, hey, I just saw your offer. I was trying to accept it. Can you cancel it? So then of course I went and looked at what item it was, and I saw that it was these, and then they sold for $21, so I was pretty bummed out about it. But then I ended up looking at my email, and the email said that they accepted my offer. So I just let them know, like, hey, it shows that you did accept the offer that I sent you. Because at that point I'm like, I'm most likely going to be losing even more money if I, you know, do it that way. I do have Poshmark VA, and that is what sends my offers out. I think I'm at either 15 or 18% on the offers. I'm not really sure. I don't really have like a high rate of people buying it off of the offers. I'd say maybe about 10, 15, maybe even 20% of people actually buy the items strictly off of the offer that is sent out from Poshmark VA. So it's not like I have a really great rate for that, but it is what it is. The next thing is actually a Nike shirt. This is from a consignment client that I have outside of it, and this recently sold, and I don't know, this one didn't sell for a lot. I think I had it listed at $18. I received an offer for $12, and I had already told her that Nike just doesn't do it for me. So I had already let her know, you know, what I thought that these items would sell for prior to us actually going through with it, and she was like, that's totally fine. So yeah, I accepted their $12 offer, and I'm happy that I did, just to kind of get these items moved out of the way, because I really would like to have, you know, more somewhat substantial pieces, you know. But this one sold for $12, and I paid nothing for it, and after fees, and I really don't have any cost of goods, I made a total of $3.05. So with this particular consignment client, I actually didn't really, I think I told her that I wanted to do half of what it sells for, but I realized that with these items being so damn like low quality and like low, I don't want to say low quality, but more so just like lower tier items, I wanted to take into account her cost of goods that she paid for these items for, and I didn't want to take more money and she would lose more in the end. So I just went off of what the item actually sold for and do it that way. So I basically eat the fees on the platform, and it is what it is. These are just basic items. So yeah, another one did sell as well from this lot. So I'm happy to see the items are moving. It's just not my, you know, my stilo. But we are in the process of actually talking about what the plan is we want to do as far as like getting a new lot and everything like that. All right, so the next one is actually a soft surroundings blouse. This is a like velvety blouse, and I was somewhat hesitant on picking it up just because soft surroundings has been sitting and sitting and sitting, and I just keep getting sadder and sadder and sadder that I'm not making money from the items that I source from this brand. So I am really, really, really picky now on whether or not I pick it up. And of course I check comps, and this particular style was doing fairly well. So I thought I listed it pretty decently. So I had it listed at $38 when I initially put it out there, and I received a $28 offer. And I looked at the offer that I initially sent her, and it was at, I want to say 32 and like, you know, $5.95 discount shipping. And I noticed that it was pretty close to that amount. So I was like, let me go ahead and accept the offer, because as of late, y'all, I've really been trying to not be super greedy. And the only reason why I'm able to not be super greedy is because I'm getting a lot of my inventory at the Goodwill outlet now instead of me thrifting it. So I think that is pretty much helping me as well to accept offers. But this one wasn't from the bins, unfortunately. So this one sold for $28 and I paid $4 for it. And I made a total of $18.40, which is still not bad. I would definitely pick it up again because it's close to that amount that I actually want to make per item, which is about 20 bucks minimum. That is literally my goal, is to make $20 in profit minimum for each item that I sell, just because it'll be worth my time. Let me know down below how soft surroundings do for you. All right, so the next one is actually this baby girl Lily Pulitzer dress. I picked this up at the bins, and I got really excited when I saw the print. And then I noticed that it was a lot smaller than what I thought it was gonna be. So I'm like, okay, this must be for a child. And it was. So I listed it, and I had it pretty high, I'm gonna be honest. I was looking at comps, and I like to check comps, and I like to kind of be right in the thick of the higher end of comps, just so I can have room for like offers and stuff like that. So I did have it marked really high, and I received a somewhat low ball, honestly. It was very much so a low ball. But since this was a little girl's item and I only had it listed for a day, I thought I would go ahead and accept that low ball offer just to kind of get it out the way. And you know, like I said, I don't really sell children's clothes, so it was almost kind of like, girl, go ahead and accept it, because you don't know how long this may sit. And then summer is almost over, so it's kind of like, why not go ahead and accept offers on dresses. But this one sold for $20 and I only paid $1.02 for it at the bins. So I made a total of $14.95. I'm sorry, I made a total of $14.98 off of this item, and I think that that's okay for a child's item. I'd most likely pick this up again if it's at the bins. So I think that it's good. Let me know down below, do you guys pick up little children's clothing? Because I know that some people do make like a pretty good killing off of children's clothing. It just doesn't really have much of a desire for me, unless I think that it looks nice and shit like that. But I think that a lot of people aren't really caring how good a child's item look. They just want to get it for cheap, let's be honest. All right, so this is another consignment item from that same client. These are just some Fabletics leggings. I actually stopped picking this brand up over a year ago because it just does not sell. It just doesn't sell. And I don't like to hoard items, but I also don't want to waste my time. So I did get a low baller on eBay with this particular item. And honestly, y'all, I didn't realize that this is most likely a really good style, only because it has those pockets and it's black. And I think these were a size medium, if I'm not mistaken. but I think I had it listed at like $24. I knew that I would probably only get about 20 bucks for it, so that's why I had it listed at 24. But she sent me an offer for $10, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? So I ended up countering at, I want to say about 20, and then she did 11. So then I did, I want to say 18, and that was the lowest that I was going to go, because I'm like, this is a consignment client's item, and I don't want to like have everything for super cheap. So when she countered at that one and I countered back, she declined immediately. So I was like, okay, that's totally fine. So then somebody on Poshmark actually sent me an offer for $21, and I graciously accepted it. So I was like, of course, $21 is not bad at all for Fabletics. Let me know down below if you guys sell Fabletics, because it's not really a brand, like I said, that I pick up, because I just don't think that it sells well. But if I can find it at the bins and it's a black pair, maybe. But so these ones sold for $21, and I paid nothing. And like I told you guys before, I go ahead and pay them the amount that it actually sold for versus the take-home amount. So I only made $5.08 off of this item, which I still think is, I guess, is decent. So it's looking like I'm averaging about $4 or $5 for this lot, because I've already sold like 3 items for her. So we love that. All right, so the next one is actually a bundle. Now, I don't typically get these, which is kind of exciting, so I was pretty happy. So this is just a by Anthropology sweater. It is a wool blend. So funny story, just yesterday I received a very calculated offer. So I had these listed, I want to say this one was at 45 and this one was at 40, and I only had them priced differently because since this one is a black one and I feel like black is a basic, I wanted to, you know, maybe get a little extra $5. So I went on and priced it a little bit higher than the other one. So I received a bundle message and she was like, hey, I'll pay $30 and $4.99 shipping. Now, mind you, I did get this at the bins, so I could have took that offer, honestly. Oh, this one is done. However, I just felt like I really didn't like the style of the offer. You should have just said, like, I'll pay $28 for this. Like, why are you saying $4.99 shipping? Like, girl, get out of here. So I was like, no, ma'am. I'm gonna go ahead and just wait, you know. So then she was like, well, let me know if you change your mind and you can go down on the price. This is a big ass lint roller. It's so heavy. Anyways, so she was like, let me know if you can go down on the price and then I'll purchase it. And I'm like, I never responded. So I ended up just leaving it alone. And I posted it on my Instagram, kind of just like a little laugh and moment or whatever, because it's like, girl, you act like you're doing me a favor. You are asking for $15 off. I don't really know the percentage of that. I think that's 30% actually. That might be 30% off. And you want discounted shipping, so I'm really going to be losing a little bit more. So no, ma'am. And like I said, although I got this at the bins, I still wanted to make sure that I get a pretty good return on it, just because it is a Anthropology brand and it's wool and it is a plus size. And I feel like plus sizes do a little bit better for certain brands, and I wanted to make sure that I was getting a good return. So anyways, once that happened, I'm like, girl, bye. So then a next person come in and she had already asked a quick question about the black one, because when I took the photos, it looked like it had a glare in one of them, and I had already went back in my room and I turned the ring light on and everything just to make sure that it was just a glare and not a stain. So then I let her know that it's just a bad glare on the photo, there's no stain. And she waited maybe like 15 minutes and then she bundled them, and then she sent me a very reasonable offer. And I'm like, wow, like today it must be reasonable offer day. So I went on and accepted it. I had it listed at $85. I guess you know how they tell you this bundle is listed at this amount. So it was listed at $85, and then she offered me $72, and I was like, of course. So I made a really good profit on these items. So I actually paid a total of $2.04 for these items together at the bins, and I made a total of $55.56 for this bundle. So we love that. I'm gonna go ahead and send a handwritten note just because I didn't package them, so thought it'd be a nice gesture. And it's very generic. I just say their name, and then I say thank you for your purchase, and my name with a smiley face. So I don't really do too much, it's not that serious. I don't receive many bundle offers on Poshmark or any platform, so I'm always excited to get them because, you know, I think it's a good thing to sell multiple items. I know that a lot of the times on Poshmark though, for bundles, you do lose a lot more money when you bundle, which is kind of crazy to think because some people want to stand and offer, you know. But I do have a deal in my closet right now where I'm doing 3 for 15% off, I want to say. I don't typically do that, but I thought maybe it could help sell a little bit more. So we have that, and then I'll put a little sticker here. Let me know if you guys do bundle deals in your Poshmark closet. All right, so now we have our eBay sales. These actually sold this morning, and I love that because, you know, you can't go wrong with morning sales. But this is from a brand called Uniglow, and it is a collab with Inès de la Fresage Paris. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I know I didn't actually, but I picked this up at the bins on Friday, and I thought I'd go ahead and take it home only because it was 100% linen, and I feel like their material items sell really well. I do well with just selling the things that have like a really good fabric. So I did sell a cashmere sweater from this brand, and I sold it for a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a fast fashion brand, Uniglow. So I know that, you know, sometimes you can't get that much. And I was going back and forth with the potential buyer this morning over this item, but I decided to go ahead and let it go for what we felt like a deal, because I didn't want to hold on to a dress for another summer. So I thought, you know, hey, why not go ahead and move it out the door? And since I got this at the bins, that is also another reason why I'm a little more laxed with my, you know, accepting offers, because if I get it at the bins, that means I didn't pay much for it, and I'm gonna get a pretty good return no matter what. So this one actually sold for $20. Now I had it listed for $32. This originally sold for $50, I want to say. So it wasn't like a high dollar item to begin with. So I think that I was already kind of pushing it a bit. So when I went back and forth, I think she initially sent me a $15 offer. I pulled it down to, I want to say, $25, and then I think I did $22 twice because she only went up like $1. Once I sent the $22 offer the second time, she came up to $20. So I guess she realized like, okay, she's not gonna come down any further. So let's just see what I can do. So once she sent that $20, I was like, okay, I'm willing to work with that. So we sold it for $20, and I only paid $1.02 for it, and I made a total of $16.18. And honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be like completely honest, since this is on eBay, I don't really know if that is like the correct amount that I'm taking home, just because we all know that eBay has all these damn fees. So I'm assuming that that is what my take home is, because I like to do about 14%. Let me know down below if that is correct, because I think roughly their fees adding everything up is about 14% is what I'm assuming. So all right, so the next one is a shacket. These are in, okay, and I found these at the bins, so we love that. And I was like, I'm not gonna get it, I'm not gonna get it, but I was like, you know what, it's at the bins, girl, just take it home. Because of course I never heard of the brand, however it is in fact vintage, so I thought I'd go ahead and get it. And it was like a corduroy style. The only problem is that it does have flaws on it. So the potential buyer did message me, because I did have it in the listing that it does have minor flaws, and she was like, where? And I told her that it was around like the second button, but looking at it now, it kind of goes down a little bit. The only problem is that it kind of blends in with the tone of the jacket, because it is the color of it, the stain or whatever, it's literally the same exact color, roughly. It's just like a dark brown. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I did photograph it. So I don't know, you know, what would be a bad thing if she decided to say, hey, I want a refund. So that would suck a lot. But honestly, you can't really tell when the jacket is open because it really just blends in. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it just blends in. And they probably can give it a good wash and maybe it'll come out. I don't typically like to wash clothing, especially when I don't know whether or not the stain is something that I could get out, because a lot of people do complain about like the washing powder and stuff, and I use Tide, and I don't wash thrifted clothes enough to, you know, invest in a, you know, specific brand. But maybe in the future, honestly, maybe in the future, if my platforms for my reselling business just continue to grow, I might go ahead and do that. Also invest in a better quality steamer, so then that way I can actually, like, you know, steam the items all the time, because I kind of don't do that. I only steam it when they're wrinkled. So I guess I'm more of a half-ass reseller, honestly. I'm gonna just go ahead and claim that, because I already know y'all like, girl, you are a lazy reseller, call it what it is. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that's what it is. I like to go thrifting, pick up items that are not flawed, so that I can take them home quickly, you know, get them looking nice, and then take a photo of them so I can list them, so I can make money. I really don't, you know, have like a more tedious process of coming home, steaming, washing, treating, you know. But who knows, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. But anyways, so this one actually was listed for $40, and she sent me a $30 offer right after she asked me like what are the flaws. And I debated a little bit, but I'm just like, girl, you got this at the bins, what are you thinking about? Go ahead and get the sale. So I went on and accepted her $30, and I paid $1.02 for this item, and I made a total of $24.78. And like I said, with eBay, I'm hoping that that is the amount. So y'all know how eBay is with those fees. So, you know, I'm hoping that that is what I actually made, because that would be nice. And for items that I can't put in a, you know, envelope or a box, I like to go ahead and stick these stickers on here just so the USPS person can know that this is a priority item.